Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Not My Lifetime podcast, episode 27 on the channel. It's been 27 weeks of doing this show, and it's getting better and better each week we do it. More people tuning into the show, people sort of commenting, saying how good it is, how much they're enjoying it. No matter what shows we're doing on the channel, it's much appreciated, everyone, and we pick up everyone in the chat right now on comments, on Twitter, joining us right now. As you can see, it's just two of us today. Alex is busy with work-related stuff, obviously, at the moment. There's personal stuff as well behind the scenes for himself. But it's all right. Got Danny with me today. How you doing, Danny?
I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Very good, thank you, mate. Very good. You know, no matter what happens, we'll always try and keep doing this show, no matter obviously whoever's around. Obviously, if I'm not ever around, I know to let you guys know. You can go from there. But at the end of the day, right, it is what it is, and life takes over, and life's more important. You know, it's more important in a situation than it is anything else. So the main thing is this show can go out, you know, each week. So, and obviously, big up Caribbean Racer as always. You know, the meat shield. It is like this guy is Thanos. He's Norwegian Thanos, just kicking everyone's ass week in, week out at the moment. Obviously, at some point, it'll obviously stop at some point. But the way he's playing right now, I think Saliba and Gabriel have got a big task to answer because you got Haaland now who's going to really press, annoy the hell out of them, and that's what we've been asking for all season. He needs to really rattle them up because they hate that. They hate getting rattled at Arsenal. So if we can get that kind of Haaland, then you know I'm all for it. And also that tone always the fourth top, right? I'll be honest with you, although it's a controversial one, it's different and I like it. I like, you know what, I probably won't get it because it just looks nice to have and sort of wear every now and again. But it does.
I just want to get it just for when I go and see Oasis. It's just worth it for that.
Yeah, man, that'd be awesome.
It is different. It's a bit funky. I went to see it in person when I was at the game the other day. It's
nice.
Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting is the only word I can give it.
I think this year, our free kits this year have actually been quite good because, I mean, well, obviously the home kit's a home kit, but give or take the home kit. I don't really buy it anyway, but I think our away kit's lovely. Yeah, the yellow and black, so good this year. I love do you know what? Our purple one's lovely. That burgundy purple one, such a nice third kit, really lovely. And also, yeah, so we've got some kits.
Got that one. It's a really nice color.
Yeah, I've got it on the way. I've got a Vardy on the back of that one, so I've got a big, and also got. I think I'm feeling get Savinho on the Oasis one probably. It's some good kits this year, I'd say. So it's been a while since we've seen some good kits, and yeah, big up to Hone. Haaland can use the version yet. You can make Haaland, but exactly this is what I mean. This is what we haven't seen much of yet. I mean, we're watching at Brentford. We haven't seen much of it yet going forward. I think it's more of the Haaland show these first games. But if you watch our wingers and midfield a lot closely, I mean, I was really analysing that midfield, you know, for the game. You really sort of see how different, you know, the sort of style we can sort of work with now. Like, I think first half, Gundogan and Kovacic were nowhere near good enough. That was Kev. I mean, you could tell it wasn't working that free. It just wasn't really a balanced midfield.
I agree. There's too much of a similarity between Gundo and Kovacic when they play together. The two, they play in the same sort of way. They're both similar physical style players. And when Rodri came on, it just changed everything in midfield. It gave Gundo freedom to move forward. I don't think we should see Kovacic and Gundogan together.
No.
Really?
No. For me, when on Rodri, instant control. Instantly, we had someone there who could just marshal it and says, all right, we've got Vardy at left back, we've got Stone it's the defence as well. It's all right down again. I just think that
speaking
experiment...
of that, when Rodri came on, everything changed. We played so much better. We had so much control, and that's why he should be winning the Ballon d'Or, because he just has that presence. He makes everybody comfortable. He makes everything easier for everybody, and he makes everything look simple. It looked like he hadn't been missing.
Yeah, the Ballon d'Or, right? I'll be honest with you, but the more I look at it, I'm thinking, how can Vinicius Junior win that Ballon d'Or? Please tell me what he's done overall to deserve the Ballon d'Or. Oh, he won the Champions League La Liga. Fair enough, but trophies-wise, fine. But is that what we're doing now? Win trophies. I mean, you deserve the best player. I'm not. But by the way, as a disclaimer, I liked him as a player. I think he's a top player. I love watching him play. Very talented, very skillful. I wouldn't say he's Brazilian. I'd say watching Savio is more my style of Brazilian player. Very skillful, direct, and go through players like Mahrez did for us. But V Junior is a good player. I never thought like he's the best player in the world. I never thought that about him. I think Yamal's a better player. He's younger.
Yamal's
Lamine
having
Yamal,
a brilliant season so far, isn't he? I had a look at his
3
stats
goals,
the
4
other day.
assists.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got 7 goal involvements in 4 games, and Mbappe's only got 3. And 2 of those are penalties.
Barcelona are a good team this year. They're a very good team this year. Obviously, Olmo's injured now. It's a shame because I mean, I've been watching Olmo. He's been class at Barcelona. It really suits them to a T. And it's nice seeing Barcelona play good football. Like the old Barcelona. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like Pep Barcelona, but Enrique Barcelona, that kind of Enrique style Barcelona, which was very, very good. Won Champions Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. Obviously, not that level of players, but it's nice to see a bit of star player again. And Yamal's a very exciting player, but I think when our team, though, obviously Haaland's been probably the best player by far so far.
It's like a country mile, the difference between Haaland and anybody else in the league. It's just at a completely different level right now.
He has more goals than anyone team in the league, including us.
Yeah, I think he's
9 goals.
He's got 9, and City have got 11 as a whole. And
well, we got
more
than
goals, anyone else.
And that was Kovacic and De Bruyne. That's mad.
He's just incredible. He's he's been here. It's his 3rd season now, and I think this is the best he's ever played.
Absolutely. Panic 115 going back when we speak to mate. Honestly, if I'm being honest with you, the more I've read more about the lawyers we've got on this, I know there's a little brief mention of it. I'm not going to mention it too much because it's not really not to go on anyway. But from what I've seen of the lawyers we've got in our team, we look very confident. So I'll be honest with you, I'm confident about that anyway. Like if we wouldn't hire these people, right? If we didn't think we were proven, and so people will say, "Oh, you just like you're a City fan." No, I just don't think the club would do this to this extent if they knew they were innocent. That's what I'm going to say on that one.
It's like what Laporte said in the media the other day. He said as soon as it was announced, they all came to the players and they told them nothing's been done wrong. We're going to be fine. And I purely believe that. I think it's going to be incredibly hard for the Premier League to prove. And if City are found guilty, it's just going to open the door into investigations in other clubs. It's going to really take the Premier League down either way.
Like I said before, I think because the fact that our lawyers were seen picture going into it, and the Premier League lawyers went in for a side door, tells you all you need to know about it. The Premier League, right? I'll be honest with you, right? If you're basing your accusations on fake emails from a guy who's been now obviously arrested and extradited, who hacked stuff, how can you prove anything? It's the most like if this was obtained legally, fine, but the way it's been handled and out of context. Now, look, I know we're fans. So a lot of people think that we're trying to find everything we can to whatever. But I said before, but look at it logically from a lawyer point of view and a case point of view. How can you trust hacked emails as anything to go by? I know, but it could be real. Well, 8 of the emails that were on those emails were apparently most of them were by Barada. And Barada, bear in mind, was a big part of this club for many years, and all on his name or all his emails. So I do not understand this narrative. Oh, we're absolutely guilty because I'm sorry, right? But if United should have hired someone who's in laundering and all these rules, rule breaking, then I'm sorry, but United are involved in it as well because they've hired someone. Well, they know who he's worked for. So I'm just saying right now, everyone's being stupid as per usual because anti-City gets likes. I mean, if you see it straight away, the amount of about City, there's the Barclays men, the 115 case it's honestly anything anti-City likes.
Yeah, they all say they don't care about little old City, but everything United fans, Liverpool fans, Arsenal fans, everything they talk about on Twitter is about us.
Yeah.
Like if you don't care about us, why are you so obsessed with us? You shouldn't care about this outcome at all because it shouldn't bother you.
No, it shouldn't, but it is what it is. That's what I'm thinking. And at the end of the day, right, I couldn't give a shit about
Just
them.
jealousy. Jealousy's a bitch. Just because your
It is
clubs aren't as good as ours, that's the only thing you can grasp at, and there's nothing to it because it's not going to happen.
yeah. Exactly. Yep, and that's how it always will be. But and then, like nothing about 5K. It is what it is. That started now. It'll be a while before we hear anything about that. Let's just move on from it until we actually get a proper announcement by it. That's what I'm going to do. But back to the Brentford game. We'll start, I think, with the lineup that we were, we saw. So Edison in goal, granted. Walker up. I thought, okay, right. I was like, oh no, because
Walker is. It's not really working. He showed
I think
signs of his decline last season, and this season he's just not really at it.
We should have sold him in the summer. We should have done. Like, I know he's captain, but you could still just the signs of where the wind was blowing. Everyone could. And like, if you say, "Oh, I'm being negative about him," no. You've got to look at it logically and don't lie to yourself. Carl Walker's finished. He might have pace still, but he ain't supposed to be many years ago.
His game reading ability has definitely gone down. His ability to read the game and see where the danger's coming from, that seems to have gone. Like there was a few times when he just completely left that right side of defence open when it really shouldn't have been.
We were lucky that Ivan Toney wasn't in that Brentford team because you've had Toney and left wing Visser or Lewis Potter. But remember, Lewis Potter was actually getting the best of the times than that first half. I was thinking, crap. Like,
to be fair to Brentford, they played really well in that first half.
They're brilliant.
Really well.
They deserved more goals. Like, and Bumo was class, by the way. I've always thought Brian Bumo is one of the most underrated players in this league. He should be in a better team than Brentford. I said before, he should be in a better team than Brentford by now. He's good enough to play for like a West Ham. He was something like towards like a Brighton or maybe like an Arsenal or Liverpool as a backup player.
Don't start saying that. Chelsea will be in touch with him in a minute.
Oh, for fuck's sake, yeah. No, but I want to give him.
Already given him an offer. I think I've just seen the headline.
No, fucking hell. Already, buddy. Hey, mate, Chelsea's a mess itself. We've seen the Bowley and Barley and that bit, yeah. It's just Chelsea are a complete and utter mess. Honestly, it's a mad club, Chelsea. A mad, crazy club.
Everyone's coming at us, but why don't you go at Chelsea? Because how is what they're doing legal?
No, exactly. But it's what it is. Obviously, they won, but so it's all about City, it's all about us, and it's all about And I said before, that's how it's always going to be. Anyone who's a fan of this club, right? Don't give a shit what other fans say. Just do it. I've blocked out every single person who's negative about it because in the day, right? If you've got an opinion about us that's not necessarily positive but quite constructive, I'll hear it. But I'm not going to hear negative bullshit and jargon and just get likes and views. It's just that's good. The one.
There's our sponsor.
That's a video. Mr. Whippy's ice creams. But the thing is, I will say though, I was going back to the team, right back. I was like, okay, I was immediately nervous. Stones, I thought, okay, because Stones has been a bit hit and miss himself recently. I know he's been obviously out of the team with injuries and that, but he himself's not been at his full flow best himself. And in that game, he was average at best. I was
I agree. Stones was far from his best the other day.
The way he dealt with
that game, Walker shouldn't have started that game. We shouldn't have made so many changes at all.
No.
Really.
I thought Akanji was the best on that defence. He was actually pretty good, Akanji. Yes, he dealt with Burrow decently to go against him. I think Rico, for me, is not a left back. If not for us.
I think the problem was on the left, we had two right-footed players trying to do the same thing with Grealish and Lewis. So when Grealish played with Cancelo, they're both playing on the left and cutting inside, so it limits.
It didn't work at all.
It limits that sort of thing, and then Lewis struggles on the left side anyway. I think it's not the first time we've seen him on left side, but he should be on the right, and he should be inverted from the right side of midfield. But then Lewis was playing inverted, Stones was pushing up, Walker was pushing up. It left Akanji open on his own quite often. The defence was just full of holes.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, and well, it's like if Chelsea, if we've been told me, oh mate, trust me, there will be riots everywhere, mate. A full-on media lynching for our entire body back, squad of players. But
just
why
wait until next summer. We'll unleash all the money next summer.
Musiala Rodrigo will be there. We'll be there. Musiala Rodrigo.
When we're found not guilty, we're gonna throw everything.
Yeah, mate.
Do you know what? Transfers.
Rodrigo, Bomo, £100 million each. Bosh, do it. Maybe a bit more Rodrigo, but just to be honest with you, they're worth it as well. It's money as well. So I'll be all for it myself. Stones, Stones' time, but exactly. Yeah, he does. I'm not knocking him or saying he's terrible. He's just. We all know with Stones, it's fitness and that kind of stuff. But with Stones, I think this is a big season for him because with like contract running out in 2 years, it's kind of towards contract negotiation time for him. We have to decide whether he wants to renew with us or we think we actually do better and get money for him. Now, I'm not saying that I want him to go, but I think as a club, you've got to be realistic about where players are going to be right now. And do I think John Stones can turn it around and still be at a high level? Yes, I do. However, injuries can play a part in that, and that's what we've got to realise with John. I think his treble winning season was his best season I've seen him play. The best I've seen John Stones play at City. Maybe could be different. I think Stones has been unbelievable playing that DM role Rodriguez over the last few years. But I just feel with his injuries, it always just like sets him back. That's what I'm worried about with Stones compared to other players. But
I think we just have to limit how often we use Stones. He's absolutely up there as one of our better players. And if we were going to pick our best team on paper, the centre-half pairing would be Diaz and Stones, regardless of injuries. And I've said it before, if you think about injuries, like Company is a perfect example of that. He always played at such a high level, like Stones does when he's playing well. And injuries don't change that.
Exactly. No, I do agree with that. Yeah, I could have given it a few times this season, but I think I just think with Ake, it's different. Ake is a bit more reliable. Ake is more reliable than Stones, I think, in terms of injuries. But again, I get it. It's not ideal to have two players out like that at times, especially with our defense as well. I think we've got good options in Ake, but it depends obviously on any more injuries we actually get going forward. Because I think we've got to be. I think for me, if we can get through the rest of these games without any injury to any defenders, that'd be great. Because I can come back obviously after that international break. We ideal to have everyone back fit. Because if we have any more injuries, it's looking very good. None of the backup options. So
to be fair to Stones, you need to find the balance because he's trying to play the inverted centre half position. Lewis is playing the inverted position, and then Walker does what Walker does. He just leaves that space open behind him. So not only is Stones trying to play inverted into midfield, but he's also trying to cover Walker. So that could add to why he wasn't playing great on Saturday. But I don't think he played badly. He was just a bit rusty.
Yeah, I agree on that one. Aston Villa are beating Young Boys 2-0 right in the Champions League. Just a little update. Look, to be honest with you, they should beat them anyway. Villa are a better team than Young Boys. So, but it's good to see him. First get back in Europe. And 2 goals already. Not bad, but obviously we're playing tomorrow. Well, obviously we'll actually discuss that later on. You know what? I agree. Ake is very important. I mean, Ake and Guardiola, I think, are two great options that we use. Obviously, when they're both there. I mean, look. A second half, Sport Rodrigo and Guardiola instantly improved the entire defense and set up sides because everyone was more assured of themselves. Guardiola should probably have like a goal or two probably in that game. I couldn't he didn't shoot. Like if he used
Yeah,
that, if it goes in.
I can't believe Savinio missed that chance. Like Guardiola should
Oh,
have done
mate.
better anyway, but Savinio should have buried it.
And also running from defenders and shot off that one in, an unbelievable goal. That went in the way he ran through. And I think with Savio, he gets that finishing very well on point. He'll be a top. It's gonna be a top player for us, man. I'm so excited to watch more of
Yeah,
Savio
I
because
do really see signs of Mahrez. Once
the
he gets that
diving,
finishing
the
touch.
diving, the diving wasn't good. Yeah, he got something. I never
I
thought
didn't see that clearly where I was. Stadium.
no,
I can't comment.
it was a dive. It was a dive. It was, yeah, it wasn't penalty at all. But I said before, I said if you can learn to like try and get the contact, then of course, yeah, you get a penalty. But as I thought, I don't mind players playing that if you contact from the other player. If it's legally done, go ahead because there's contact, it counts towards it. But with diving, no, because you always get a booking for that. And I can, if one more booking that he got on that. And the same thing as I thought, like our setup wasn't ideal for that game. I think for me, I probably would have played Rodri at the start just to get some more minutes in the tank to game. I know we're obviously technically still recovering, but I would probably to start the game, get the game one first half if possible, and then bring him off later on. But obviously, he came on anyway and did the job no matter what. But I think with a game like that, you need a DM player to sort of sit and anchor the midfield. So Gundogan and De Bruyne, when the second half you saw clearly, going forward, they were much better going forward, a bit more attacking, obviously, in the box. I thought Kevin Jack did pretty well on the left hand side with José Vardio. We had Savio, Walker, and the Gundogan link up on the right. It was a bit fluid in the actual attack. Was it perfect? No. Look, finishing was a bit unlucky, obviously, because of Flecken being so ridiculous in that second half. He might say he's probably Mark Flecken, no matter what he does, probably saved against us. But I think overall, second half was much better. It could have easily been a 4-5-1 game second half if things went our way. But I'm pleased with what I saw second half. First half though was definitely a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah, the balance wasn't right in the first half. Second half sorted as soon as Guardiola and Rodri came on. But
yeah, and also
finishing, like you said, in the second half was a bit questionable. Ireland had about 4 chances to get that hat trick. Grealish could have had a couple. Savinio should have buried that chance he had. There were so many chances. And when it's a 1-goal lead, I'm always uncomfortable.
I was thinking that I said Alex again. I'm not happy with this because it's still 2-1. I think I can see him banging one in for 5 yards, like 2 of them. And everybody swearing out like I'm like, yeah, but
when they scored that first goal, I just couldn't believe what I saw. There's just so many errors leading up to that goal, and it was in such a short time.
Like the way that Aya got that cross off, I was like, how are you letting the cross go off? Like, I know Rico's not a left back, but Rico, you're a defender of a trade. You should know what to do in a situation. Block the cross off, doesn't go in. But also, 2, Kyle, you're a right back. Clear that ball out for a corner or a goal kick. When in doubt, kick it out.
Yeah, he reacted so slowly to that ball. He shouldn't have got to that jump.
Stones as well was terrible. Like the way that Kanji looked, don't get me wrong, Kanji wasn't good either, but Stones in that situation was terrible. The way the ball just bounced and he let it bounce, he didn't clear it himself. I was like, that goal was so easily avoidable. It was so easily avoidable, and they were right. Like, Brentford played very well and deserved a lot of credit for how well they lost. It doesn't matter, but Brentford have a style of play that we struggle with because we didn't set up properly against them. Set well against them, you can beat Brentford. You can. But Pep needs to realise that I think in certain games you can play that Gundogan pivot with Ever, but Brentford, no. That was the wrong game to play that pivot because that was the long balls work because we used that to our advantage and that's the way to win the game. I think Edison's pass to Haaland. The first goal, brilliant finish. I know it was a deflected chance, but the way he sort of turned his body to get the shot off, I was really impressed how he did that because
he did well to get the shot off, but you have to say it wouldn't have gone in without that deflection.
No, but we'll take it. At the end of the day, right? He played his card and he won.
If you don't shoot, you don't score. You have to take the chances. Haaland's perfect at that.
Yeah, I just thought overall, I think that Gundogan was definitely not his best game, but I wouldn't say terrible. But I just don't think that midfield worked at all. Like, none of them were necessarily terrible by chance, but I thought Kovacic was a bit dodgy first half. It wasn't too bad after
No,
that, but
it was just really unbalanced in that first half, especially in the first 20 minutes. And like I
yeah,
said, Gundogan and Kovacic just flashed a bit too much in terms of style. They're
yeah.
both trying to do the same thing. Gundogan's better when he has the freedom to go forward, but he couldn't do that because obviously De Bruyne was playing as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see a team to see what Pep's learned, obviously, from like, there was obviously some different games Brentford, but similar steps apply. I think it'll be interesting to see what he learned from that of certain players. I wonder if we'll go back to the Akanji Diaz, Stones, Vardiol. I thought, which I would probably. I'm just thinking, would you drop Rico for this game? That's what I'm wondering now. Because should he be dropped for this game? Would you play him?
I think it'd be unfair to drop Lewis. And
Yeah,
especially if you're thinking of putting Walker in, because Walker doesn't deserve to play at the moment. And arguably, Lewis has been in our top three players this season. There's no reason for him to be dropped, especially when he was
no,
being played out of position on Saturday.
agreed. Yeah, me and Brentford. Well, yeah. Look, Brentford definitely were better because of how we were playing. Brentford also deserve credit for how well they set up. Like they had a game plan set up to it. I thought their defense a little bit more was. Oh, look, obviously defensively, I mean, Pinnock couldn't deal with Haaland at the time. He just could not deal with him at all. I think like, he's a tall defender, Pinnock, but he's not a strong defender. So he's not kind of player where he can sort of like Saliba can sort of use his strength when he needs to use it, like or Gabriel can. Pinnock's a very like agile kind of player that can sort of. He's a good player. He's a good player. I do rate Pinnock. He's a good player, but he's not the kind of player that can deal with Haaland at full strength.
Who is
And when
though,
you
really?
that's the Edison for me, right? Man of match for me was Edison for me, and because the amount of saves he made to keep us in the game to start with was big, and also the assist as well for Ed Haaland, the second goal was massive. I know Haaland got 2 goals, but if I'm being real with you, Edison for me just it wasn't for him. It probably been a whole different story that game. So
Yeah,
I know obviously everyone will say
it was one of those games. Nobody was really outstanding, um, apart from Haaland. But Haaland's inevitable. You know what you're going to get out of him.
yeah.
Edison, I do agree. Edison was probably man of the match overall in terms of performances and not just the goals.
No, look, I think the goal we conceded wasn't his fault because his defense let him down there. The defense let him down. Like, what can he do when this has got had a point blank range at him? He can see it, but again, the defense should have dealt with the ball before it even got to him. So that's not his fault. That's more the defense's fault for letting him down there. But that is it from Collins that corner. If that goes, it's 2-0. And we're done a real barrel at that point because Brentford at 2-0 up, they'll park the bus even more than they were beforehand. It'll be a much more awful, irritating game. So, hopefully, you may have saved there. That could be a very dodgy game after that if it goes 2 or 3. So, in the end, I think Edison deserves credit for that, for sort of stepping up when he needs to and showing how important he is to this team.
Definitely.
Because,
to be fair to Brentford, though, they did play really well. There were times when I thought they looked similar to City in terms of how they were passing the ball around defence, keeping hold of possession,
brilliant.
pressing us. They were playing really well, and not just because we were playing badly. They had full control of that first half at times.
Yeah, exactly. Now, do you know what I said? For me, Rico, yeah, Rico for me, absolutely over Walker for Inter and Arsenal. Walker should be, Walker for me, no, not for me personally, but I want to go on to the wingers because I think obviously Haaland. We'll talk about Haaland in a bit, but the wingers particularly were Grealish and now before the game I was like I'm happy with that because it's a good bit of balance. They've got someone who can hold the ball up and also go through. You've got Savi who can run through and do a bit of skill. So you've got a good bit of variety of player there. And we did see a bit of it from both of them. Would I say that they were great? No. Would I say they were terrible? No. I think they both had to score or at least get a couple of assists. I just think with them two, it's just getting that sort of link up with Haaland with each game that they play with him. I think it will happen. I think Jack, from stuff from what I've seen, him definitely impressed me with how like he's really trying to push, and sort of have more shots. Well, look, the shots aren't going in, but they will go in the more you take them. The more chances you actually have a goal, the more it will get better and go in. So therefore, with Jack, just have a shot, do it. See for
with Jack, it's similar to when Silva was at City. It was almost frustrating when he didn't shoot because we know how good he was.
yeah.
Like we know how good Grealish is at shooting. He scored quite a few important goals for Villa. But when he's in the positions for City, he's not taking the chance.
I think Pep needs to just let him shoot more. If he shoots more, he'll score goals. He will score
He
because he
needs
can.
more freedom. He's been restricted to the left wing too often. Like we've seen how good he was in midfield for England. Give him the chance.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, right? I thought Kev wasn't, I wouldn't say, but Kev wasn't terrible. I think Kev just was a bit unlucky with how things just like Gundogan. They both got into positions, but just another day it probably goes in for a goal and they get assist for it. So I think again, Kev, I'll give like a 6 out of 10. It wasn't terrible, but I've seen better from him. But again, for me personally, that was
I think overall, everybody in the team had about a 5 or a 6. It wasn't the best day at the office. We just about got the job done. That second half was quite long.
Frustrating.
Yeah.
Frustrating second half because
that second half seemed to have lasted forever.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, Mick, I was thinking that shot, and I thought if that goes in too, I'm out of it. Doing a rant video at the end of it. But thankfully, I think for me, what we've got to do is we've got to make sure we kill games off. Because at times, we do leave it a little bit too ajar at times. So if it's a 2-1, get that third goal as soon as you possibly can. I don't care who scores it. Okay, it's a fullback. Someone get a goal, make it 3-1. I don't care if it's Haaland all the time. I don't care if it's Haaland, Kev, Jack, Savio. One of you put the ball back on the net, make it 3 or 4-1. Get us up, then we can chill. Because he's the priority.
This is the thing we do, though. We get to about 2 or 3-0 up, and then we kill the game off. We stop playing. We focus on the next game. But it's not the best way to handle it sometimes, because once you concede, it gives the other team something to play for. If you kill it off earlier, you get to about 5-0. Granted, it's not hard to get to 5-0, but if you keep that competitiveness going throughout the game and you keep switched on instead of switching off after an hour, that would help us a lot.
Yeah, agreed. Obviously, look, Haaland was brilliant. 2 finishes of good level. The first one was a bit of deflection, but the second one was well taken, and I was so impressed with the way he sort of tricked Pinnock into thinking he was going one way, and he went around him, blocked and the ball, and ran for it and chipped the keeper. Haaland last season would not have scored that, by the way. He would not have scored that. Probably been saved.
No, I agree with you.
The confidence is back. The confidence in Haaland in himself is back. Like the year before, you could tell he was playing for injury. He's playing for not anyone like that. He was not himself last year. He was not himself at all. And we were saying it all season, weren't we? Haaland, he's not himself.
No, definitely. You can tell he wasn't. He was frustrated with himself a lot last season. This season, after that break he had, just to relax, because he's not had the chance to relax like that for years.
No.
He looks happy, he looks fit, he's confident, he's got his ability back, and he's even better.
9 goals in 4 games is ridiculous. But he's beaten, is it Rooney's record of 8 goals in 4 games? But I was surprised that he even got that. I remember it was because it was a night beat. Is it Arsenal 8-2? Is that mad Arsenal game where Arsenal humiliated 8-2 and then find out in that same season it might be Arsenal 8-2, we back one their place. That was the same season. Always find when I see that because you're not thinking that they're going to win the league again. I mean, they're beat 6-1. I always find it funny about that season, but I think for me it shows how much form he's in, how powerful he is. Like he's back to himself again. He's back to the Dortmund Haaland, actually. They're wrong. That first year Haaland was insane, but Dortmund Haaland, the counter Haaland, the one where he can sort of run the ball with rapid pace and just get finished off like that. He's getting that game back again that he didn't have for a while. I just want to give him that freedom to say, "You're a striker. Just get the goals. I don't care how you do it."
I think people forget how fast Haaland is sometimes. He can be incredibly fast when he gets going.
Yeah,
and his overall play is getting better as well. He's getting involved in the build-up, not just waiting for the ball to come to him.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, this is I say like Silver Ali. Yeah, exactly. That for me personally, 4 out of 4, I'll take it absolutely. Especially going into Inter and Arsenal, I'll take it absolutely. Now, don't be wrong, right? Inter will be a hard game tomorrow. It's because Inter are not. Well, I know they drew with Monza on the weekend, but they're a good team with some good players in that squad. Got obviously, well, as far as I'm aware, no DeMarco and not Arnautovic. It's like Arnautovic's still playing football. Bloody hell, okay, but DeMarco's out, which is a big loss for them. He's a good player, DeMarco. Very good player. Wing back, centre back. You know, he's good for Italy as well. He's a good player. I think we're kind of like fortunate in a way to not have him playing this game, especially how I play at the moment. It's good to have a bit of help in that situation. But I think tomorrow is all about just get over the line, get the win, 3 points, get on to the next game. Because I said before, like especially in this new Champions League format, you need to get the points early doors. That's the priority. Because the top 8 go through to the next round, qualifying without to play a playoff. So we can get that and get one less game to worry about. That'd be ideal.
Not just points either. If we go for goals, because you don't know when it comes down to goal difference.
Exactly. Well, because
it's going to be so much more competitive and more fun to watch this new format. I think. Hopefully, anyway.
Well, so far I think there's a Villa are beating the young boys 2 right now. Obviously, they obviously got that's a big win for them if they get out. Obviously, especially for them, obviously being a new team back in the Champions League again. Who else is playing?
They've had a goal disallowed as well, from what I've seen.
Yeah, and Watkins and Juve are beating PSG 2 right now as well. So Juve are not the same team used to be. We should beat Juventus. We really should, but Juve have got good players that can actually cause us issues if we're not careful. But it's going to be interesting, especially seeing that Bayern and Zagreb tonight, and Madrid have Stuttgart at home. So they have games that they will all a few goals in. So we've got to make sure we get a win tomorrow. And also, Foden is exactly because I've wondered how is Pep going to bring back this team? Is he going to start him tomorrow? Is he going to bring off the bench? What's the?
I'd probably say after about an hour. Bring him on in the second half. It's too big a game to just throw him back.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a much different. I think it'd be if you throw into deep end straight away. I'm not saying you can't handle it, but with fitness, you can't do that to a player. Yes, he has to build up to it. So I think Pep will bring in Monarch on against Inter and Arsenal. He'll probably do the same thing, or probably play him. So it depends obviously on where he is, obviously fitness wise. Yeah, so you can draw 2 games exactly. So it's not a bad result if we don't, in a way. But I'd rather win tomorrow to get the mood ready for Arsenal.
And I think that tactic puts too much reliance on other teams. If you get the job done yourself, you don't need to worry about anyone else.
Get the wins in the early. So I think for me, get a win tomorrow against Inter. I don't care if it's 2-1. Get the win tomorrow. Get the victory secured. And obviously Arsenal Sunday obviously will also be important as well. It's all about the 3 points though. Whatever. Obviously, but obviously about the cup. The cup's different, but the 3 points is what matters right now. Obviously, performances will get better throughout the season. But all I want to see is 3 points because the more you get, the better it is for us. Obviously, going into Christmas, which will be even more difficult. It's all about setting the standard up and setting it and keep moving on. So hopefully we can do that, but we'll see what happens obviously tomorrow. I think it'll be a tough game. I think Inter have got some good players. Team of that can punish us if we're not careful. I think it's all about how we learn from Saturday. How obviously what Pep decides to go with obviously tomorrow. I think it should be a very similar team. Well, probably go Rodri to start the game tomorrow. I want to have a bit of control of the team start. So I'll probably go with Ederson, Akanji, Stone, Diaz, Vardiol, Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva. So Gundogan, bit of control in midfield. Jack, Savio, Haaland. That's what I would go for. I think for tomorrow's game. And then obviously around Gundogan later on, maybe a bit of Nunes or Doku if you want a bit of variety in there. And bear in mind with Nunes as well. So far, from what I see, even a little cameo on Saturday, he did the right job. So Nunes for me is showing the right mentality and the right attitude when he's playing. So that's good to see that from a player who will also play different on the field. So overall, good to have a player like that on the bench. But obviously, it will depend on how he does against Watford. Nice to know about the game he plays. Obviously,
Yeah,
in the cup.
if he doesn't start the game against Watford, then we need to start asking questions. He came on too late to have any part of the game against Brentford, so I can't really comment either way on him. He didn't do badly. He didn't do great. I can't really comment. Wasn't enough time.
No, exactly. But again, we'll see what happens. Obviously, with him, I just think, as people, as I said before, I just want to make sure we get the win tomorrow. For me, wins are important. Obviously, in terms of mentality, obviously, of momentum. I think because Arsenal on Sunday won't be easy. Obviously they're playing Italy away on Thursday, so that's obviously good impact to them. And to play away on a Thursday, come back on a Friday and Saturday, and obviously Sunday. So it's gonna be a lot of travelling for them compared to what we have to do. I'm not saying it's gonna be terrible. There won't be, but I'm saying that it have an impact on them. And especially with Saka getting injuries, it's getting right now. There's a lot of injuries, a lot of cramps is getting right now from what I've been seeing. He's not obviously fully fit himself right now. So
well, Saka just plays the injury card when he doesn't have a good game, doesn't he? If he doesn't play well, he just limps off.
I think Sunday is all about. I think the team you play against Inter is the team I play on Sunday. That's what I'm looking at because two big games, very similar teams. I'd say maybe obviously depending on who isn't fit, but I'd say you want to play the same sort of teams in both games. And obviously Watford, you rotate heavily, you get Ortega and goal and whatever. You get everyone obviously. Like Riley, McAtee, Nunes, the midfield for some of that. Just do that. Is Steve, Eddie, Lewis, Rupert, Akanji, Cavani, yeah, maybe Doku. Okay, not Savio.
That's similar to the team I was thinking because Doku's pace could be a bit more dangerous into his defence. So I was thinking maybe Savinio and Doku and save Jack for Arsenal, but depends what Pep's thinking.
Exactly, because obviously Pep moving on a whole depends also anyway. So we'll see obviously what he goes with tomorrow. But I think on terms of what Steve's saying here, probably what I'll go for on the lines of the team tomorrow. But we'll obviously see what he goes with anyway. I think for me, it's just all about just momentum. Where we are right now in the season, I know it's 4 games in, obviously game 5 tomorrow. I think slowly but surely we'll start seeing our best team. Not straight away. I've said before that midfield will constantly rotated and mixed around all season. We'll have no idea who that midfield will be, even in November or whatever. It'll be a long time before we see that midfield fully take place as the best midfield. So I think it's a lot for well. Especially on the attack as well. Savio, Doku, Bob Wick, and that as well. It'll be a lot of rotation in the wings as well. It's going to be a whole different team as well. It's going to be very interesting to see when everyone's fully fit who he goes for as the best team, because that's where it really starts to get interesting. And obviously, when players have the places as well on the pitches, it's going to have an impact. So I'm interested to see how this team changes, develops, adapts obviously to different situations. It's going to be, I think this week will be a big week for us to sort of see where we are right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's 2 massive games of our season very, very early. And everybody's been waiting for the Arsenal game. That'll tell us everything we need to know about both teams.
Yeah. Because Arsenal right now, obviously Rice is back from Sunday anyway. It's back Thursday against Atlanta anyway. So it'll be fine for Sunday. It's very injury, obviously. Odegaard, as far as I'm aware, is injured. I know, obviously, he said he was in the team photo. Like, he's injured. If he's playing on Sunday, I'll say it's an idiot. Because a game of that magnitude and being that injured, there's no way you can recover that quickly. So
No, he shouldn't. If Arteta has any sense, he shouldn't start Ødegaard and maybe bring him on in the second half, depending on how
if
the game's going for them.
yeah, but as I never thought, if Arteta's that desperate, he's an idiot. It's 5 games into the season. I mean, like, even if you lose, it's not any end of the world. Because honestly, I'm going to say it right now, I can't see City going unbeaten this year. There'll be one game where we'll have a fuck up. There will be, because as good as we are, Brentford showed how we can be, but not on it straight away.
Yeah, definitely. We have weaknesses, and you could see those on Saturday. But nobody's guaranteed to win every game. Nobody's guaranteed to go unbeaten. It's a long season, especially if you're in all the competitions. Arsenal showed how difficult it was to go unbeaten 20 years ago, and nobody's done it since. Leverkusen showed how difficult it is. It's not going to happen. Like the same reason nobody's going to do the quadruple. It's too hard.
Yeah, exactly. So I think for me, I'm just focused purely on. I'm not. I know people say that's nothing. Obviously, we haven't actually done yet. Obviously not the quad all unbeaten. But I thought the Invincibles is never going to happen again probably, because
No,
the way
because
football is
football's even more difficult than it was 20 years ago. There's more competitive games. More teams are taking it seriously. It's not just the top four anymore. They're calling it the top six.
and
There are
also
multiple reasons it's not going to happen again.
also we'd luck as well on our side, because we actually have luck. Even when we're playing shit, we have to find a way to either win or get a draw. And at some point, we'll have a game where it'll be a barn door banjo, where we just can't hit a barn door. It won't go in. We sit there just bang our head against the wall. So, don't get me wrong, Steve. It would be lovely. It'd be great to beat that record of 40 undefeated. To beat that 40 record and get 50-51. But if we do that, obviously great. To beat Arsenal's unbeaten run, get the trophy that's gold as well, and take the piss out of them, that'd be great. But if we're being honestly real here, no. Or let's see how we do this week. If this week we get through unscathed, cool. All right, I might have a little laugh, a little think about it. But I'm not. Anfield as well. Anfield away. If you get through that unscathed, maybe we've got a chance. But there's 2 games
This
to worry
early
about.
in the season, I'm not even considering it.
No.
If it gets to May, April, maybe we'll start talking about it, but definitely not now.
No, exactly. No, it's all about at the moment just focusing on.
We're guaranteed to lose on Sunday now.
Oh fucking hell, yeah, probably. But I think for me, I just want us to actually go out against Arsenal and give our all. Just because I think I said before, Arsenal are not invincible at the back. Yes, they play well at the back, but you can get at them if you're smart. If you utilize your team well. I think, as I said before, Haaland needs to irritate and frustrate Gabriel and Saliba. You can't just do it last time. Don't just let them push you about. Go get in there, make a nuisance for yourself. You bring everyone into the game. Arsenal, I guarantee, right, Arteta's got a way of playing against us right on Sunday. I guarantee he does. But we've got to find a way of constantly changing from Haaland to midfield. Haaland just constantly mix it up, because that will confuse the players on the Arsenal team. Thinking shit, Haaland this time. Constantly rotate that ball to different players, and if you get a shot off. You know, so it's all about moments. Arsenal games all about moments in the game. When you get a chance, you got to take it. If we beat Arsenal on Sunday, that's a massive statement of intent.
Definitely, both of these games this week are massive, and they're both going to be really frustrating, difficult games. We just need to be patient and just take our chances.
Exactly. Now, I was going to ask you as well, obviously, because obviously it's Champions League number 2. How do you feel about Champions League this year for us? Do you think that a lot of the last season's annoying exit? Do you think this season will actually be a bit more, raise some a bit more obviously up for it this time, I reckon.
I think so. I think Champions League and the Premier League should be priorities.
Yeah.
If we drop out of the FA Cup and the League Cup, that's fine. Obviously, I'll take them, but Champions League should be up there on the same level priority as Premier League, and the players will want it as well. We've had it before; they want it back, and there's nothing holding us back from taking that extra step.
Because the thing is, also before, you know what's going to happen as well. If we get Madrid in the knockouts again, it's going to be like the whole thing. Mbappe's Haaland. It's going to be like a fully Star Wars poster of them two just facing off. I can already see it anyway. I can already see TNT Sport, their massive Mbappe Haaland face-off poster, and it looked cool. It would be awesome to see Vinny, Bellingham, Mbappe versus Haaland, De Bruyne, and yeah, sign me up. I'm there if that happens. But I said before, especially with Europe and Champions League, it's never a guarantee. Even if you're the best team, you always win it. Take your chances. Take your chances in these games, because if you do, you win. I won it. Got a chance. Took them in the final. Got a chance. Took it. Won again. 1-0. Into games like this, you have to win the games in moments. And the Champions League, that's what it's about. It's about moments in the game that obviously take advantage of and get the win. Inter will be the exact game, and so will Arsenal. It's all about how our players handle the moments of the game. I'm sure they will do it because of experience, but players like Savio as well and Doku have to get used to playing in moments like that, in moments games where it matters to get those points, that big win in the group. So I just hope that, especially younger players as well, but especially Rico as well, playing more Europe as well. It's the third year now playing Europe now. Is it scored his debut at 17 in the Champions League? Play obviously at Madrid, playing obviously Bayern. He's played a lot against high level teams. Now he's an experienced player now, so experienced and obviously got a lot headstrong now as compared to obviously was when he first came through. He's a very, very key player in games like this, where you need someone who's going to be like a bulldog and just run around like Bernardo Silva does, just sort of the ball constantly push the team forward. I think people aren't really giving Rico a lot of credit or a lot of praise, because I think they don't really realise how important he is to this team. I know Bob was the player, and Oscar Bob was a fantastic player in preseason. I think he will be on injury, because Oscar Bob was a fantastic player to watch. But Rico Lewis is underrated by many people in Twitter, on the community. Rico, for me, will be an England player for many years. He will be, because he's that good a player. People don't see it yet, but we do. We watch him a lot more now, especially this season where it started. He's been so good since he started. I want to see him get more games against Inter and Arsenal. I think he'll play both games. I'm not sure whether he'll start or not. It depends obviously on what Pep wants to go with. But either way, whatever he's called upon, I trust him to at least put the effort in and do a good job.
No, I agree. And if Mainu is becoming an England regular, Lewis should definitely be an England regular as well.
Mainu, I'm sorry, right, but can't be right. It's not a bad player. I like him as a player, but he's not this player everyone thinks he is.
He's not that level yet. He's a decent player. He's played well against us in the FA Cup final. He played well for England in the Euros, but he's not that level yet.
He's not a Bellingham level. Look, it doesn't matter what you think of Jude Bellingham, right? We know that Bellingham's a very, very good player to a high level player. I'm not saying he's world class, because world class is a massive word to anyone. I think for me, if Jude does it for another 2 or 3 years at Madrid, sure, me he's world class. World class is a massive word about anyone. Like, I mean, I don't say about anyone like that lightly. I always think, like, for me, we get a lot longer than just 1 year. So
yeah, definitely, and it's the same as calling someone a legend. That's just thrown around too easy.
Yeah, like, if I'm being real, Our players in our current team, Kevin De Bruyne's a legend because he's been here for that long and been so good in games. And he's won like awards. Like, yeah, you are probably the best, a legend anyway, no matter what happens. But I always thought, is a Barcelona legend? Probably, but it's too easy to say that word though. It's legend. The thing is, I was thought a legend is a whole different. Like, it's like Aguero, David Silva, De Bruyne, like that. Players like cult heroes would say are more, are more the things. But as I thought, is there a debate? I've done some point about cult heroes, and legends of City because it's a hard topic to discuss. Sort of rank players in because it's not easy to do. Good thing. Oh, he's that good for us. He's legend. No, like that's not how it works. You have to actually have a on the fans. But if Haaland stays here long enough, Haaland will be a legend. Because he's that kind of player that can leave an impact on the fan base above the club. He can do it. I'm not saying right now it's third year. It needs to be about longer than that for them to make it a legend standpoint. If Haaland was here long enough, was enough of the fans much he's anyway right now for that much longer, and obviously Maguire does, sure, he is to me personally, but I don't give players that act like that quickly. Because it's such a big accolade to have. You've got to actually earn it a lot more. For me, Sterling is a legend, not because I don't think he's good enough. I like when he was here. I love Raheem Sterling. While he was here, I thought he was a fantastic player to watch. Very, great at scoring on the Pep, great with assists, creating shots. But the way he left the club let it down for me. He didn't leave with the right amount of respect.
I think Sterling's sort of in the grey area between legend and cult hero because of everything he did for the club when he was here for the most part, but a lot of the time it was below average performances and he missed a lot of big chances.
Yeah, because so like out of the current team, right? Obviously, Ed's been here obviously for about 8 years now, Edison? Almost 8 years since.
Yeah,
7-8 years.
Second season, wasn't it, when he signed Edison?
7-8 years been here for now. Yeah. Now is he legend? Well, it's hard to really say. Like he's been very very good for us, but again, people need to realize a legend is a massive word. You can't just give it legends out to everyone. That's not how it works. Like everyone, you got to have leave a standing of the fans. I think. Like the thing is, like even like that great Barcelona team, under Pep, not all them legends in Pep's in that fan base's eyes. Some are great, but once they all them are, even their own great teams. Like if I'm being real with you, I think when I look at the current players, I mean, is Gundogan legend for you?
Gundogan,
Yeah,
he probably be in that grey area as well between legend and cult hero.
Yeah. Do you know what, Steve? That's actually a great point. You know what? Actually, do you know what? I think from now on, that's probably what I think. When Kev retires, legend. That's what I think. Because I think at the moment, you're right. When they're currently playing, it's hard to really say because you can't reflect on a time club properly. Like we can't really reflect more on what they've been. Obviously, Silva, you can. Because Silva actually finished his career now, so it's Aguero. So you can actually give them a real rating of where they are. And those are obviously legend status for what they did for the club. Right now, look for me, Kev. For me, is probably the one player I'd say yes, guaranteed legend because the way he treats the club and the fan base, a lot of the amount that he does, and plays at a high level. Sure, yeah, because even what is it, 8-9 years now? Sorry, 9 years now. Sorry, almost 10 years. So, probably longer than a lot of others who played before him, and he's been such a good player for that time. Like for all them years, high level player. High level of so, and he's playing with a smile on his face. He's playing with a lot of passion as well. You always tell that he actually cares as well. Whenever he scores against this, he takes a shit. I'd probably say he's the one player I'd say, yeah, that's a guaranteed legend player. After retires right there. But apart from that, yeah, it's a grey area for a lot of players.
Would you put Rodri as a legend?
Oh, Jesus Christ! I should do, but the thing is, like. It's a massive word. Like, legend's a massive word. So you can't just give everyone the accolade. Like, I think for me, he's a massive cult hero. He definitely is in that area leading towards legend. I think when he finally leaves the club or he retires from football, and keeps doing what he's doing, yeah, if it was the Ballon d'Or this year and wins more stuff with us, like another Champions League down the line, more league titles, sure, me, yeah, I'll give him because I think with Rodri, he gives a shit, which is what I appreciate about him. He cares about the club and cares about the fan base. He like like Diaz as well. Diaz is the exact same. Like he comes to the club from other teams with a lot of passion and actually care about the club and stay here a long time because how much they love playing for us. I think that's why I wouldn't mind giving them that accolade. But again, I won't do it yet because I haven't retired it or played so long anyway. But again, it's a hard one to talk about. It's not easy to sort of say because you feel a bit uneasy saying it because it's such a big word to say about anyone. So yeah, that's where I'm out of it personally.
Yeah, can't really argue with that.
But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, right? I think this season, I said before at the game to a couple of people, also Alex as well. I said this is probably our best squad we've had the quality all across the pitch, all across the actual bench as well. We've got some good quality. Like that bench was insane. Did you see the bench we had? Like I was like, what the fuck? Like Doku, like the Rodri, Vardiol, Bernardo. So I was like, what the fuck that bench? I was baffled at that. And I think this is our best. I think overall, in terms of bench players, is our best we've ever had. And the squad quality and output just looks insane, but balanced as well from defensive midfield to attack. It's probably like maybe like one striker, probably missing Alvarez. I'd say it's our best squad I've probably ever had. There's a big thing to say early on, but what,
can't really argue about that. Every position is well covered. A lot of players can play in multiple positions, but like you said, striker's probably the only real weakness we have when Haaland's not available.
Yeah, that'll be that for me. The Watford game, although it's a League Cup game, I'm actually intrigued about that game to see what he goes with because Haaland's not playing that game. He's that game he ain't playing at all.
No, realistically, you can't see Haaland playing that game. There's no reason to play him, especially when we've got Arsenal on Sunday.
It'll be a false nine game. That's where I play Jack. False nine. So go on, Jack.
Yeah,
or Foden.
Potentially, it depends on who plays against Arsenal. But yeah, like you said, Foden could start against Watford as a false nine, get him back into playing a full game again.
There's nothing missed. Yeah, exactly. I think Steve hits on the pretty well. Like when I look at like the top three like City players of all time, like, obviously I can't comment on Colin Bell's era because I wasn't born around that time, living around that time to actually comment. If I could, go back in time, I'd witness it myself and sort of see it myself over the years. I just watch every year, see if I could watch every game and sort of get a real tier list together of all the players so I know how they played. Because the thing is, I've never seen Colin Bell on highlights that are like black and white highlights. Some of them, they're kind of here and there. I sort of really got to like, he's a good player for his time. I mean, that's what I said about Colin Bell. I think for level football back then, I don't say it was bad, by the way. It was different to the way it's now. He was a very good player, very technically gifted player, and it's like, it's why I don't compare them. Because I can't compare David Silva to Colin Bell because that's ridiculous, like comparison to make in the first place.
No, it's impossible to compare players who are playing 50 years apart because it's a completely different game.
Yeah, I just think Colin Bell for me, in terms of the legend, I think best player of the club is a hard one because you could go with any of them three players, Silva, De Bruyne. You have a good point with all three. You would. I mean, Colin Bell, not so for me, because I can't know that myself. I was not you, Danny, either. But I just say I think the way I'm with it, that's probably my top three. I'd say more out of respect for obviously Colin. I'm not going to just say no to that because from what I've seen of him and how good it was for us, I have to give that respect to him, even if I don't know him that very well. But I've always thought like Kev's in that category anyway. Like he is, because the way he's been and the way, even when he's not been like, let's say, club captain, every been captain of the team. I always thought, well, he's always led by example. Always led like obviously with right. Actually, well, I always thought if he isn't much more to captain this club, I go Diaz more as club captain. Diaz is more of a other club captain player. Kev just is more of a like I would give Kev more of like the armband when someone else is on the bench or not fit. I'm fine with that because I can trust him to do a good job. But it isn't me being like a problem. I think even Kev said himself, like he'd rather just have not the armband.
No, you can tell during the game Kev feels the pressure of being captain. He just wants to get on. And he wouldn't be my first choice for captain. It'd be Diaz, Rodri, maybe Stones, Gundogan.
Yeah, I thought Haaland did a captain in previous enough. I wouldn't say he's captain right now, but I thought Haaland actually did a decent job as captain. I think because I'm not nowhere near right now, but I think Haaland has attitude and mentality to do that to be a leader. But as a captain, depends. It's a very hard one. Haaland,
I think Haaland's good for mentality. He's good at riling the players up and getting them going. But
yeah,
I wouldn't say he's captain material. Not yet, anyway.
Exactly.
Maybe one day, but we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, and Maxi, you know what? McAtee needs to play against Watford. He has to. If McAtee does not play against Watford, I think then I'm going to ask, why is he even here?
Yeah, McAtee, Nunes, like there are a few players like that. If they don't play against Watford, then
yeah, because I've said before about his new contract. I only give a new contract if you're going to sell him on for money, because I know with McAtee as a large fan base, McAtee in the City fan base, but I'm just not that kind of. Doesn't mean I don't like him, by the way. I think McAtee's a good technical player. I just think, again, I said before in previous shows, the boat was missed. 2 years ago should have been McAtee's season to be in the squad, not now. After two loan spells, it feels weird. Why didn't you trust him 2 years ago? Why now? That's what I don't understand of it.
I agree.
That's another legends in Cologne. That's what I mean. Like every era has different players that can be legends in that regard. But it's why I don't say the word easily, because it's not a word you can just say. And like if it was right, like Kev, yeah, I'll say it, and everyone agree on that one. That's it. That he's a legend because
you can't really dispute De Bruyne. Everything he's done for the club in the last few years since his first season, he's just been incredible.
Yeah,
and he could argue it's between him or Silva. Personally, I'd pick Silva, but I'd completely understand why anybody would choose De Bruyne at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, everyone who says though it's like the other players clearly are like it's not. I wouldn't say it's clear because both players, like Kev's a better goal scorer, but Silva's a better passer of the ball. That's what I want to say. But if you want a big game player to step up and win you the game, I'll go Kev because Kev can do that. But if I want a bit more control in midfield, I'll go Silva, and he can do that to a T. But even David can come out with some good goals. I mean, I've watched him recently. He can do it, not all the time though. I thought he should have done a lot more than Silva. A lot more goals should have scored.
It's like what I said earlier with like when we were comparing Grealish. He should have shot more, and it was frustrating to watch because you know what he's capable of. And
the free kicks as well.
Isn't Silva like in Spain's top 3 scorers of all time?
He is as well. Like, what was it? Valencia's goal against Chelsea, that long shot against Chelsea. I watched that recently. I thought, why not do it more for us? Like, I mean, when you do it for us,
did it for us. Like he scored quite a few decent goals for us. Yeah,
the whole City one. But for me, one of my favourite goals of the Pep era was when De Bruyne did that looping over the top pass to Silva in the box of West Ham. He scored that chance. And I thought that in itself, you realise it, like Silva and De Bruyne together was ridiculously insane. Like people don't realise how
it was the cheat code, wasn't it?
Because it was fun. It's like
Silva, De Bruyne, Fernandinho. That was a perfect midfield three.
Get Rodri right now in that team. That's a Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta team. That's on par with it. I don't give a shit. People get angry at that. It is. It's on par with that
No,
midfield.
I agree. I've always said as well, if Silva played for Barcelona, he'd be regarded higher than both of those players, Xavi
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Iniesta.
Look, well,
And
even
Silva
both
would have
them two
won
have
a
said,
Ballon d'Or if he played for Barcelona, and I'll stand by that.
well, it's Kev the exact same. Kev should be on his 2 by now. If it wasn't for other players, like Kev in that Benzema season, I'd say Kev should probably won it. Really,
Yeah, definitely.
like they're wrong. Like not Mane second. Kev for that Ballon d'Or. Kev was unbelievable that year. Like people don't actually realise, right? Well, that Toure season of in 2014, the amount of goals he got and assists in 35 games, unbelievable. De Bruyne did that and did it better a couple years later. Like he got the same amount of games Yaya, even more goals and assists. It's like, how do you do that in a worse team? Well, like with Jesus being terrible, so like he did that. Like this man, if he had won stuff that year, more than the league title, he would have got Ballon d'Or. It's why I hate Ballon d'Or PR stuff because it's not fair at all.
It's just a popularity contest.
Because if we're being real, right, Haaland last year should have won it. Last year,
100%.
The year before should have been KDB. Personally, for me, after the year before that, I'd Lewandowski, or the year before that, you know, Messi, Ronaldo should not have won. Well, no, I'm not saying they should have won. Both them two have won. I'd say the right amount. But maybe Messi's not saying the amount. Ronaldo's won quite a lot, and deservedly so. Because Messi deservedly so. But I've always thought, like certain seasons, I thought better players were better than them that year and deserves better and more respect. I think if Bellingham gets it this year, or Junior, I'm done with football in that regard. Because you cannot tell me them 2 players are the best players in the world. You can't. With your eyes, not stats, with your eyes, no. Better. Like,
Yeah,
Rodri's been the
I
best
don't
player.
need to say more about Bellingham. I've been very public on my opinion on him.
With
So
you,
I'm
though,
not commenting
I think
further.
you have said before, like he's a very, very good player. I think Bellingham's a class player, by the way. He has a lot of potential to be a top player for over the years. But for me, with Bellingham, it's the attitude. That's what, for me, it's too early for this. I think, personally, for me, he should have gone to us instead of Madrid first to get that kind of level of experience under a man who can get that attitude in the right spot. I'm not saying we're something about. I'm saying that Bellingham would have been a lot better for us because it actually would have been playing a system that would have suited him. Like Bellingham and Haaland, well, Foden, it would have been perfect. I know obviously it doesn't matter now, but I said like it would have been a perfect sort of team if Bellingham was actually with us because I think he'd be even better player than he is right now. Overall.
Yeah, maybe. I couldn't comment.
That's fair. I know you're not much a fan of him, but I just thought yeah.
I wasn't a fan of him before he went to Madrid, and I'm not a fan of him.
That's fair enough.
I just don't.
No, look. Yeah, look, the Ballon d'Or, right, I'm honest with you, I'm preparing myself for Bellingham or Virginia to win it. Don't get me wrong, if he wins Rodri, I'll be fucking elated for him. If he wins it, I'll be so happy to see a player. Although I'll be thinking, how the fuck is Rodri winning a Ballon d'Or as the first City player when Kev's been robbed the last 2? Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? It's what I hear about. And it's the fact that Kev wasn't even money this year. It's like the mission. I thought, I know he's been injured most of the time, but he came back like 15 assists, like 7 goals. I was like, how's Erdogan getting in there? That Kev's not in there. Like, what's going on? What is going on? Like even like certain players were saying, how the hell is Kev not in there? Like when you get like, because I saw, I watched it France vs Belgium. I was entering in a bit. I watched France vs Belgium. I watched after the game with Kev. Right, it was obviously wasn't happy with how Belgium played. Yet I watched right. Mbappe went over to him and sort of obviously gave him obviously a hug and that and sort of. When you see players like Mbappe showing that level of respect to him, same as obviously Haaland and that as well. Like these players at the high level, then I'm sure if you all asked them who's the best midfielder in the world, they say him. And you ask Modric, same thing, him. Roberts and Cruz have a lot of respect for KDB. I watched him after Madrid games, Liverpool City. Both them two always went up to Kev after the game. Always them two, and that in Germany as well. Like, there's a lot of respect for him in the football community, which I love about Kev. Like, everyone knows how good he is. I'm happy that the players know it themselves. That they know how good he is, and there's a lot of respect about it as well. But it's just, for me, it's why I hate about football though, and awards. It's all about PR and that kind of bullshit. I just think it's not fair at all on certain players. They don't get the level of love they don't get. But I know it's the way it is, but crazy.
I agree.
Yeah. Big up, Steve. Obviously, yeah. Everyone in the chat right now, make sure to like the video. Also, videos, obviously, streams. Subscribe to the channel. Obviously, 25 subscribers now of 800 sub, which is insane. It shall start in March. We got 5k. Madness. How good this channel's gone in that time. And thanks to obviously you guys in the chat, obviously on Twitter or YouTube, just all supporting us. Massively appreciated. And we look forward to bringing more of these shows. Obviously, next week, obviously, having an accident, depending on he's obviously obviously there's a whole different story on that front. A lot of story of Alex, but most of it will be here. But if not, it's to or I guess obviously we can get on. But it doesn't matter. I still love being here. I still love being here. Obviously, when we're always together talking about football, it's what I talk about with City. I look forward to sort of seeing how we go against Inter tomorrow, Arsenal on Sunday. Should be a good one. Should be a good one. Yes, 775 subs. Not far from 800, which is still insane to me. But to everyone who's subscribing to us, liking the videos, always appreciated. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a long season ahead of us. A long season ahead of us to sort of talk about City. It's just started now. 4 games in, it's now started now in the season. Every game is it a game about 3 days now, 4 days now?
Yeah, every 3-4 days. As much as the players hate it.
Like, don't be wrong, right? If the players strike for it, I wouldn't blame them because it's ridiculous how much. I know they get paid a lot of money, but physically it must be an absolute nightmare for them to play on this amount of games. But that's a whole lot.
It's fine saying that they get paid for it, but it's still a physically demanding job, and none of us could do it.
No, it's why for me, right?
I saw a complaint that the highest paid players are the ones complaining, but that's because they're playing at the highest level and they're playing over 60 games a season.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But look, it is what it is. I hope whatever happens. I hope in a way, right, that they do realise that it is getting a bit too much in terms of games. I hope they do actually accept that they need to tone it down a bit because it's ridiculous how many games having to play right now, how much these players have to play week in, week out. Because at some point, it's going to sort of start having an effect on players, fitness-wise, obviously, and also mental health and also whatever. So what I'm going to say is, I hope that there is a resolution at some point. But
yeah, 100%. They need to cut down on international breaks. I think that's the main problem because it's just adding way too many pointless games in between the season, and it's breaking up the season as well, and it's not fun to watch. None of us care. No. I don't watch England.
No, exactly. But look, big up everyone, obviously for tuning into the stream. Obviously, into tomorrow, bring it on. I'm going to go 2-1 tomorrow. I think it'll be a very close game tomorrow. Although I think we'll have enough.
I'd say 3-1 tomorrow.
3-1. I like that.
And probably 2-1 on Sunday.
Yeah, just I think for me, get through, get both wins, and get us on to the next game. I think for me, get to Watford with 2 wins out of 2 for this week, and just in a better headspace going to Newcastle when it's because that Newcastle game is a hard one anyway. But that's not what I'm worried about right now. Right now, I'm worried about in first and Arsenal. That's where we're at right now. But again, a lot of games to come, a lot of challenges obviously to come this season. But bring on tomorrow. Bring on. The season has begun. Big on everyone for tuning in. I will see you guys next week for episode 28. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. See you next week.